Hey there everybody, how are we doing? Welcome back to my channel, Boomy Reactions. I am Boomy. Welcome back my lovelies. Now today we're going to be watching another video from Laurence and his journeys across the pond, or lost in the pond rather, or his memos from Lost in the Pond. And this video is called 7 Things Americans Do Better Than British People. Oh my, okay, the controversy. What do I think are going to crop up in here? Make small talk, like interact with strangers. Personally, I have not found people in the UK to be cold or standoffish, but I suppose I've grown up with it. So if you come over here and you smile at people in the street and you say hello, you're going to get a hello back or a good morning. So I don't think, I don't know, maybe it's specific to London, maybe when everyone's in a little bit of a rush getting from one place to another. I don't know. But based on what people say, I think that might come up. Maybe that's Laurence's experience. Outside of that, I can't imagine what Laurence is going to come up with as these 7 points. So let's crack on with the video, shall we, guys? And if you are enjoying these reactions, my lovelies, please like and subscribe to my channel and hype this video if you wouldn't mind. If you're interested, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account. The link is over here. And if you're interested in supporting this channel any further, I have a Patreon account. If you want to check that out, that is amazing. Thank you. The link is in the description below.
We had a party last night, and you might be wondering, Laurence, why would you do that in the middle of the week? And it was to celebrate the fact that I've now lived in the United States for 17 years, and this is what you look like afterwards. But it's not all bad, because while we were celebrating the night away, we had an idea for a video, and that idea was this. A video looking at 7 things that America does better than Britain. So if you like these sorts of cultural comparisons between our two countries and you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, do that now. In the meantime, here's the list. Ibuprofen, please.
I do love these videos. Pizza. Pizza.
Pizza. I don't think there are any countries in the world that do pizza better than the United States, except for Italy. And over the years, I remember Americans asking me, Laurence, do you have pizza in England? And the answer to that is yes. I have a distinct memory from being a child of eating a pizza from Asda that was themed around the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because that's what we called them there. But Britain doesn't have the variety that you find here. Before moving here, I'd heard of New York style pizza, didn't really know what it was, but I certainly wasn't aware that other regions in the US had their own varieties, and that in some cases these would be the better choice. I was speaking to my dental hygienist the other day, this is a real story, about how Detroit style pizza is my favourite style, and she agreed because she was from Detroit. And if you watch my most recent video, 7 Lies Everybody Believes About Chicago, you'll know that I recently devoured a Chicago style pizza, which is actually the real reason I just woke up. And if you missed that video, I've linked to it in the description, so now you've got no excuse. Now,
I'm going to have to go away and try that. So what's the difference? So there's many varieties and different ways to have your pizza in the US, isn't there? Some of them have made their way across the pond. Like we have some good pizza places, but I think they're all American owned or franchised out. So I'm thinking of one in Liverpool that we went to recently, which is, I think it's just called Slice. And that's where I tried Detroit pizza for the first time, and oh my gosh, oh, it's amazing. It's so tasty. But yes, how would a Chicago style pizza differ from a Detroit or like a New York style pizza? I feel like this could be like I should be tutored on it. I should be instructed or educated. So let me know, guys, what's the different pizzas and what's the differences between them? Like I said, I don't think I've had a Chicago style pizza. I don't think. Oh, yeah, Laurence said here, I don't think there's any other countries that do pizza as well, except for maybe Italy, because it's the home place of the pizza, isn't it, really? I do like Italian style pizza, but like Laurence said, there's so much variety of pizza in the US. So I think, yeah, ooh, getting excited even just thinking about pizza.
I've maintained over the years that Detroit style is in fact my favourite, but that might give you the impression that I don't like Chicago style or New York style. No, they're both amazing. You know, people say America doesn't have culture. Well, it has pizza culture, and it's a fine culture. And all of this talk of food is making me hungry. Can we go get breakfast? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem I have. See so much food in front of you.
Put cream on top of everything, don't you, in this country? I should state that these pancakes aren't for me, they're for Tara, and we're in the middle of lunch and I'm about to have a burger. And that's the thing in America, you can have breakfast all day at a lot of these places, so that's kind of what's happening, isn't it? It's true, I'm just going to say it. America does breakfast better than Britain, and my British viewers are probably watching this and thinking, Laurence, how dare you?
I'm just, oh, there's an image of the exact thing I'm going to say. So, there's a handful of dishes that we do really, really well over here. And, you know, they're kind of well known for. And a full English breakfast is one of them. And they are delicious. They are very, very comforting. They're a great hangover cure. I can't believe Laurence hasn't gone for one. They're greasy, they're fatty, but they're kind of comfort food. We do that well. But outside of a full English, I would say, I don't know the exact statistic, but I think a lot of Brits skip breakfast, and I'm guilty of it as well at times. So maybe that's one way that you guys definitely do breakfast better. Not just the variety of the things that you have for breakfast, but maybe that it's more of a family meal, like it's more of a sit down and you will eat breakfast before you go out the door. Maybe that's a massive difference. I always say I would like to start making more of an effort to have a family sit down. I've made fresh pancakes kind of breakfast, but it's that like extra half an hour in bed when it's cold.
Have you forgotten about the sublime entity that is a full English breakfast? No, those are the singular greatest breakfast in the world, but they're just one thing. America has about 1,000 breakfasts.
Yes.
Is bigger better? Well, it can be if you like to experiment. You know, it was pancakes today, but sometimes it's a huge omelette, which America sometimes spells differently to Britain. Or it's one of about 8 million things with cinnamon on it. Or it's sausage, eggs and the bacon is crunchy, which blows the European mind.
Yes.
And just to go back to pancakes quickly, in Britain, pancakes, we eat those about once a year on Pancake Day. In America, they eat them every Sunday. They have
we do. We have Pancake Day, Shrove Tuesday. But it's not a pancake. It's what you guys would consider a crepe, you know? And I love them. I love our Pancake Day. You get to stuff your face with as many pancakes as you can. But your pancakes are different. So I would say they're not the same thing. I'd say your pancakes are slightly closer to a Scotch pancake or maybe a drop scone that we would have over here, but it's its own thing. So yes, I don't know. I think a lot of Brits do like your pancakes. We try and imitate them. Like a lot of people have tried to create them over here successfully sometimes, I think. But yes, you guys have so much more variety for breakfast foods.
A whole mecca devoted to it called IHOP, which is not an Apple product. It stands for International House of Pancakes. It's very popular. Also, British pancakes are probably closer to crepes than they are to American pancakes, so they don't look quite as impressive when you stack them. And even though they have been declining around the country, diners are a massive part of American culture and one of my favourite parts.
We love your diners. I don't often like to speak on behalf of the people of the UK, but I feel very confident in saying this. We are quite in love with your diners, your very retro, vintage, 50s styled diners. We try and recreate them over here. How successful they are, I'm not too sure because I haven't tried the real thing. But yes, we do love them.
Depending on the diner. There was a sketchy one in Wisconsin a few weeks ago, but we're not going to talk about that. Optimism. There's a word in the United States that admittedly seems to be on thin ice at the minute, but in general terms, since I moved to the United States, I have been struck by people's optimism. Yes, the national news and social media might give you the impression that actually we all think the future is doom and gloom. But I'm talking about when you're speaking to people face to face on the day-to-day about their sort of personal life. And that can-do attitude that's often associated with America seems to have been taken on board by many of its people. Give us an example, Laurence. Well, a popular sports chant in this country is, "We believe that we will win." Wow! I mean, given that luck sometimes plays its part in sports, that's quite a bold belief to have. I spend most of my time watching my team thinking, we're going to lose this, aren't we? Because I am a Manchester United fan. But it was optimism and not Stanley Kubrick that put people on the moon. And I think it's infectious to a degree, although not to the degree that I've followed their example. Just happy for them. Which brings me on to our next entry.
Oh, just before we move on, I can see it. I can see that maybe you guys are a little bit more optimistic. I don't think we're all doom and gloom. I think we're a little bit more reserved with our sharing of feelings, and I don't know. Maybe like we're kind of painfully modest and shy, aren't we? Stereotypically, maybe that factors into it. I don't know. I think I'm a a chirpy person. Yeah.
Americans are very good at celebrating the success of other people. Now, to believe this, I need you to pretend, it's my dogs, I need you to pretend that social media doesn't exist because it gives you a false impression. It makes you think, we all hate each other, we all want each other to do badly. No, when you go out into the real world and people can't be anonymous, they're often outwardly expressive with their happiness about how their cousin got into college or their daughter did real good at harp. That, not my words, those are the words of Aunt Cheryl. Even if you're the sort of person that doesn't speak to others, you will still get a sense of this when you're behind a vehicle on the motorway and the car in front of you has a sticker that says something like, "My son is an honor roll student." I don't even know what that means, but I can infer from the entire situation that the parent is proud of that child and so puts a sticker on the car, which embarrasses the child. Still, we don't do that kind of thing in Britain. We don't want to let that person get too big for their boots. It's a simple, "Well done, lad. Now get in the kitchen and do your chores." And on a personal note, I want to say thank you to my American viewers who right now are typing something like, "Well done on 17 years, smiley face."
It's a funny one, isn't it? I think, yeah, I don't know whether it's that kind of not liking to make a display of your own emotions. I think that's a very British thing. Like, we're more inward, aren't we? A little bit more introverted and a little bit more reserved, conservative with our feelings. I don't know whether it's just a generational passed down. I think generations, as we go on, as we get younger, we're getting better. But generally speaking, I think it's a bit of a British stereotype, isn't it? And it's not that we're not proud. Of course we are. It's just, I don't know, maybe we've just not been brought up to display it so, openly. I can't really explain that one any better.
You know one thing that America has that Britain can't hold a candle to? Road trips. And I say this as somebody who recently road tripped to the magnificent kingdom of Iowa. And some of you might be thinking, oh, I bet that was fun, driving through northern Illinois, the second flattest state in America, into Iowa, the most boring state in America. This sounds like it undermines your argument. And it doesn't, because despite the sheer nothingness around us, we still had a great time. And I think that's because America is imbued with this sense of adventure, especially when you get behind a wheel and you decide it's only a few hundred miles away, let's do it. And I think that's partly the key, isn't it? Because you know you have to drive such huge distances in this country, you have to be all in on the idea of the road trip. You can't just say, oh, it could be a good idea, let's do it then, I suppose. You have to be excited for it. Otherwise, you're in for a very grim time.
By comparison, if something is like an hour drive in the UK, it makes a lot of us roll our eyes like, oh, I can't be bothered. It's an hour away, a whole hour in the car with the kids. I mean, at least driving through the very flat Illinois, at least it's an easy drive. By comparison, like over here, if you're going anywhere in Wales, there might only be one main road that you're going to your destination, wherever it is in Wales. Should you get stuck behind a tractor or a caravan on some of those roads, you're there for a long time. It's a bit of a nightmare. And not to mention all of the very winding country roads. Oh my gosh, hills. Woo. So yes, a flat drive is a good drive.
Whereas in Britain, I think some of the road trips that I took from, say, Grimsby to
make you
Manchester, it is fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you have some good surroundings, but you are mostly just seeing it as a, you know, an A to B. And in any case, I usually did that trip by train. That option's a bit less available to you in America. So in these cases, embrace the car, because in a lot of instances, you don't have much choice. But I think the major reason that road trips are superior in this country is more to do with this.
And the scenery is amazing, yes.
The landscape. North America is just blessed in the looks department. And, you know, some of us who didn't grow up here might think, oh, so you have the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone. Is that it? No, when it comes to national parks, they're just the most famous ones. They're the ones that get all the attention. But there are over 60 national parks in this country, and many of them are just as impressive, according to Wikipedia. Put it this way, remember at school when a teacher would do an experiment with the class and they'd ask all students in favour of this thing to stand on this side of the room and all students not in favour stand on this side of the room. Well, if you are the sort of person that likes mountains with trees, stand on this side of the Mississippi, and if you like your mountains without trees, stand on this side of the Mississippi. Just walk past a lot of flat land first. And if you like your mountains to erupt, go to Hawaii for Christmas. If you like rivers, you are absolutely spoiled with rivers that are sometimes brown but big. If you like deserts, go to the southwest. If you like Arctic tundras, come here to Chicago. But don't think about staying with me, because if you like Arctic tundras, you are weird. Jesus, I mean, in Louisiana, there are massive swamps, and this is seen as a good thing. People like them. So America definitely beats us on the vastness of its landscape, but nothing beats the vastness of home sweet home. And that's because, pound for pound, America does home space better than Britain. Now, I have a house here in the Chicago suburbs that I bought after the YouTube money came in. But it's fairly modest, you know, I wanted to stay a little bit in touch with the general public. But down the street, there are houses that are about the size of Asda. Like 7 bedrooms, a garden the size of Rhode Island, and just huge gates that you cannot climb over. Believe me. And while those are a little too big, their sort of commonplace nature in this neck of the woods is a reminder that American homes in general do have more space to them. And that's nice. I like to occasionally get away from my worries. I was going to say my worries. And just sort of be alone on the other side of the house. And one thing that facilitates that is a basement, which is where I am right now. And that adds a pretty big chunk to your square footage. And in my case, to your sanity. So what do you think? Are there other things that America does better than Britain? Let me know in the comments below. And in the meantime, here are 6 British things that Americans surprisingly embraced. And until the next time, I'm going back to sleep. Good night.
Hair of the dog. Right. Oh my gosh, yes. How could I forget? Of course, homes, houses, like the actual buildings and the land that you possess around it. So I know we've spoken about this a few times, haven't we, guys? There is, generally speaking, a lot more space, a lot more land with your properties. It kind of makes sense, you know, we're significantly smaller, teeny weeny. So land is a lot more sought after, which makes it more competitive, I guess, and more expensive. But either way, yes, you guys, I like utility rooms. I hear from a lot of you, they're standard to have in your homes. I wouldn't give for a utility room. A laundry room, sorry, laundry room or utility room, whatever one you call it. A basement. Oh my gosh, having extra storage space or living space, that would be amazing. Gardens, probably gardens are significantly bigger than ours as well. Yards, I beg your pardon. We just call them gardens. But yes, you guys do homes a lot better and they look more unique than our houses. Like I'm thinking of, you know, like rows of terrace houses. They all look very, very similar. But I feel like yours look a little bit more characteristic and got a bit more personality to them. But that might be an unfair thing to say. But yes, there we go. 7 things that Americans do better. Ben, so is up. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. Take care of yourselves, my lovelies. Much love, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.